Hey everybody, my name's Ed. Okay, so we're going to do another trade or graphic novel review, and this time we're going to do Greg Rucka and Steve Lieber Whiteout uh, Compendium. So it basically collects two graphic novels or a miniseries. I think they originally came out as miniseries, then they're collected as trade. This is the whole thing. So this is Whiteout, and it's also Whiteout Melt. Complete critically acclaimed thriller collected for the first time. All right, Oni Press. Okay, so we're going to get into it in a second here. Hang on. Okay, so this was here we go. This was published from Oni Press. The first miniseries was published in 1998. The sequel, Melt, was published in 2000. There was supposed to be a third story called Whiteout Thaw, but I believe as of yet it hasn't appeared. Okay, so Greg Rucka began his writing career in the 90s with prose novels based around Atticus Kodak series. I guess it was about a bodyguard. He entered comics with Whiteout and Whiteout Melt in 1998. His DC Comics works includes Wonder Woman, Batman, Gotham Central, Batwoman, Countdown to Infinite Crises for Marvel. He's done Punisher, Electro, Wolverine, and of course a number of indie works that include Stumptown and Old Guard, both of which have been turned into TV series. Um, Things like Queen and Country, Black Magic's Lazarus, plus he's done work under the Star Wars umbrella, Perfect Dark, which I guess was based on video games. Steve Lieber broke into comics during the 90s. Sorry, excuse me. Doing stuff for Hawkman, Conan, Civil War Frontline, Grindel Tales, and went on to do Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Sorry, excuse me, and many other works for DC and sometimes Marvel. Okay, so U.S. Marshal Carrie Stetko, she's a U.S. Marshal who's been reassigned to Antarctica. She must investigate a murder. The other men there don't completely trust her, partially because she's a woman, but even more because there's rumors that she may or may not have killed a man herself under dubious circumstances. So Carrie must navigate the tense working situation as well as deal with the mystery and lack of support from the authorities. Gradually, more bodies pile up. It's a layered, complex mystery that shows Carrie and how she relates to different people. We see her strengths, her vulnerabilities, we see her inventiveness, her determination under harsh conditions. In Melt, she goes back to Antarctica to team up with a Russian agent to fight off or to face off with mercenaries in search of a mystery nuclear material. Melt is more plot driven. And it's around more tense situations, playing back and forth strategies through potential allies and enemies. It's full of chases, fights, shootouts, national security hangs in a balance, etc. It's not as complex of a mystery like the first Whiteout story. It's more of an A to B plot. The bad guys get something, good guys chase them down. We do get to see another side of Carrie as she shows off the more romantic side. Ironically, Carrie shows a little bit more vulnerability, I think actual vulnerability in the previous story than in this one. And while Melt is good, it's less of a character-driven story, more plot-oriented. Now, the art is black and white and gray. Lieber does some great hatching techniques and excellent use of tone. As far as Lieber's influence, I'd say Alex Raymond, Alex Toth, Al Williamson. I think I might have read where he's mentioned like Jamie Hernandez, Milton Caniff, and David Mazzucchelli as well. And it says a lot that he's able to do nice figure work to make all the characters distinctive while they're all dressy in heavily bulky clothes. And it's great that he's able to realistically draw clothes and fabric. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick look at some of Steve Lieber's art. It's some really nice black and white stuff. But you know what? We're actually gonna move because it's a lot noisier here than I actually thought it was going to be. All right. So, like I said, the storytelling is straightforward. Lieber's panel layouts are well arranged. They're simple. They're straightforward. Smaller multiple panels build to quiet suspense. Larger panels for more emotional, direct, impactful scenes. He's got instincts for when to use close-ups and mid-range shots. And like I said, the panels and layouts and panel arrangements don't call attention to themselves, but it is really effective storytelling. So, sorry, excuse me. So, Greg Rucka is known for writing strong female protagonists in many of his stories, and it's almost typecast at this point. Having said that, Rucka does do a solid job at making Carrie a well-rounded character. She's competent yet vulnerable, strong-willed yet has doubts. She's tough but not invincible. She's maybe perhaps a little bit too stoic, but again, we understand why she's that way, and it's deliberate rather than the result of thin characterization, which kind of leads me to what I think is one of the major themes that we deal with in these stories, and that's of isolation. There's the physical plot-oriented isolation of being in the vast Arctic, which increases the tension as Carrie and the others can't just flee the area or call for help that will arrive immediately. We have isolation of Carrie as being the one of the few women among a group of men. And then there Carrie as an individual being isolated from other people. She's not so warm and friendly all the time. Other men have heard disturbing rumors about her. She has a hard time connecting with people. So there's that sort of emotional isolation as well. The action is a lot more, excuse me, a lot more grounded than what you get in a lot of action movies and comics. There's a lasting physical consequences, and not just for the antagonist, but for the main protagonist. Fights are tense, brutal, bloody. The scenes, while visceral, are still kind of uncomfortable. Okay, so Carrie is a strong female protagonist, but she's mostly free of stereotypes, I'd say, and she's believable in a somewhat realistic person given the situation she's in. Both stories are full of solid, well thought out writing, although I probably prefer the first one. We have decent characterizations, definitely of the main character, but some of the secondary characters as well. We've got really good art that doesn't necessarily look pretty, but does provide a sense of place and atmosphere and moves the story forward in a compelling way. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And you guys have a great day. Thanks.